to welcome you all to a very special event, Sharon's Toronto book launch. A bit about my friend. She is not just a newly minted author. She's also an actress, a producer, a host, a media personality, and a journalist. And she's an advocate known for her ability to inspire and empower through storytelling. With her dynamic career spanning, let's say, decades, she has been able to make a statement that shows power of resilience and authenticity. That is Sharon. And her exceptional work has received numerous accolades, cementing her legacy as a cultural ambassador and a community icon. And she really is. I have so much more to tell you about Sharon. Google her. She's phenomenal. She has been responsible for a lot of initiatives across the United States in the music industry, in the reggae music industry. Artists that you know very well now, Sharon gave birth to their presence on the music scene, and I'm not exaggerating. So, and among all those honors and awards that she has received, she is the winner of the 2025 What's Your Story Jamaica, which is a storytelling competition. So, yes, she took her talents back to Jamaica and cleaned up, really, she really did. And I've had the pleasure of reading Sheribaby. It's a phenomenal book, but I'll tell you something else. I had the pleasure of listening to Sheribaby, and wow, yes, she's also a performer. And there are some nuances when you're in your head and you're reading that you may catch or you may not catch, but when you hear Sheribaby speak, you laugh, you cry, and you wonder, you know, whatever became of her after the thing that happened in the book. So that's all I'm going to say. And without further ado, Sharon Gordon, please come up and join me here.
That was nice. Hi, everybody. Oh, I can say something?
Yes,
Hi, everybody. I'm so excited. Like, look at this room. My family is here. I love you all. Thank you so much for making the trip to come. And all my friends. Oh, Cynthia, you brought the whole family. I can't tell you how I feel. My girlfriend, Danette, from college days in New York, Jackie. Well, you all read, for those of you, how many people in here read Sheribaby already? Okay, good. So you see the young girls that Sherry's hanging out with? My friend Jackie, standing there in that beautiful top, she inspired some of those characters because she was one of those girls from back in the day. Well, remember, Sheribaby is a work of fiction based only on some aspects of my life, I should say. But I'll turn the mic back over to Mitzi. It's an honor to be here. I am full of love and joy right now. And Roma, darling, the food is, yes. And I thank you and the staff for having us here. Thank you. Sweet Hand Delights. If you love the food. Glenna, did you get that, Glenna? Sweet Hand Delights. Howard, thank you so much. And I'll turn it back over to you, Mitzi.
Thank you. Now I want to just start. Can I have this book for a second and I'll give it back to you?
Okay.
Take a really good look at this cover. We're going to start with the cover. You know, they have a saying, don't judge a book by its cover. And if there was ever a time when then this would be the case, it's now. A lot of people thought it was a children's book, you know, because it's colorful and the young lady on it has a lot of attitude and so on. Take a good look, right? But there's more happening on the cover of this book than you could ever possibly imagine. The book is a story in itself. And Sharon, before we get into the other stories, yes, please, you will want to take a second look at it after Sharon explains. Go right ahead.
All right, thank you, Mitzi. So to get us started, we start at the cover, right? Part of the marketing of Sheribaby is that notion of just not judging a book by its cover. And so the artist who created this very iconic cover, and that's the word that's been used to describe it. It's not me saying that, I'll say it now, but that's the word that the those media folks, Mitzi and folks, they've said it's an iconic cover. His name is Marlon Wright. And this cover came about because Marlon and I spoke, and I'm very intentional about every single thing that I do. If you know me, you know how intense I am. It can drive some folks crazy, but this is why I'm intense, because when I'm intense, I get this. I get results. I explained to him what I wanted. I told him, and then I gave him a synopsis of Sheribaby to read. And then he came back with this young woman, and then he took it to another level. Because if you take your book up, the book is inspired by Louise Bennett, who was my mentor. And she is right here in the window, peeking out. So look at the book, that's Miss Lou, right there in the window, right? You see her, she's peeking, looking out at Sherry, and that building, Alana, thank you Alana for all you have done to make this event possible. Miss Alana is in the back. But she's peeking out of the Ward Theater, the building that's representing the Ward Theater in downtown Kingston. But if you move over to the right, you see a statue here. And that is also a statue of Miss Lou. Now that is the statue that appears in Miss Lou's hometown of Gordon Town, where she lived for many years. And that statue sits there in Gordon Town. And the designer of the book decided to put a little nugget in there for all of us. And he said, Sharon, I hid Miss Lou there for you in plain sight, because the book is by Sharon Gordon. Miss Lou is your mentor, and the statue is sitting in Gordon Town. And so that's why I've hidden it there in plain sight. So it's a hidden nugget right there. And on the back of the book, the bandana, the border is the bandana. Many of you have seen me dressed as Miss Lou. I do channel her and host as Miss Lou. You see me dressed in that fabric. That's the bandana. We're paying tribute to her. So every aspect of this book was intentionally created and executed with love. So thank you, thank you. Thank you, Marlon.
Now, I would really tell us a little bit about Miss Lou, and why is it so important to you to have her play a significant role even on the cover?
Well, Miss Lou, like I said, was a mentor, and it was Miss Lou on Saturdays when I used to go be with her at the Jamaica Broadcasting Company, which was JBC, and Jackie will tell you we used to go dance. We were the first of what Miss Lou had on her program, Ring Ding. We were the first dancers and participants. It was a children's program, and on Saturdays we would learn about our culture. We would learn that there's a connection between Jamaica and Ghana, and that a lot of the language that we have that we've been told is bad, don't chat bad, don't speak bad. That patois, that dialect, was really filled with words that were good words from the language Twi, which came out of Ghana. So you can imagine the confusion we were having on a Saturday, having Miss Lou pour all that history and culture into us, to go home after that to be told, do not speak like that. That is poorly spoken English, or it's patois, don't chat na patois in my house. And they're talking to you in the same language that they're telling you not to speak it. And so as a young girl, I was confused. Most of the time, Elaine, I didn't know what was going on. I'm like, well, how is it that I'm told not to speak it, but Miss Lou is putting so much love and emphasis on it? And that therein began my love affair with language. And she just told me, she says, without your language, without people having their language, how do they speak of themselves? How do they tell their story? How do they identify themselves? Language is important, Sharon. And so I have always wanted to honor her in that way. And so when Sheribaby dropped into my spirit, it came with her telling me, you're writing it in the language of the people, Sharon. And so that's what I did.
Okay, well, Sheribaby is a little girl with a big voice. You know, the kids that you really wish they'd be quiet, but they've spent so much time around adults that they absorb everything that they hear and they spit it out in their own little way. You know, I was one of those.
Yes, you were.
So, why did you decide to tell the kind of story that deals with so many different issues globally and in Jamaica through the voice of a little girl?
Wow. The ease, So there's a couple of things. I have to tell you how Sheribaby came to me first, like how the story
Okay,
came,
go
to
ahead.
put it in context. So it was COVID, if you can imagine, it was COVID. All right, no, let me go back before that. I'm also an audiobook narrator, and so I had narrated the award-winning Patsy by Nicole Dennis Benn, and Oprah and a bunch of people were giving it so much accolades. She's the person that told me Oprah had listened to my audiobook. I had no clue. When you have friends who will send you a clip saying, guess who just listened? Right, Mitzi did that. Did you know that you were the one that told me that? You didn't know that. You were the one that shared that with me first. Then you were the first one to share that Oprah had rated the book and said, who else could read Patsy but Sharon Gordon? But anyway, it was during that moment, Nicole Dennis Benn kept saying to me, because I'm a journalist and I do write, and she kept saying to me, Sharon, when are you going to write stories? Because I tell stories. I do, I'm an oral storyteller in the spirit of Miss Lou. And she kept saying, when are you going to write these stories? Miss Della, I'm always telling stories about growing up in Miss Edna and Conrad Lane. I'm always talking about us growing up. And they used to say, Ted, when are you going to write it? So she challenged me to do one of her workshops, and I finally decided to do it. And we started in January, and then by March, there was this thing called COVID. And so we were like, well, okay, I guess we're doing this Zoom thing. And in work classes, you get prompts. And so there was a prompt for me to write a story about an incident, and I wrote it. And I thought I did pretty well. And then she says, who's the little girl in the corner that's peeing on herself? And I was like, oh, that's Sheribaby. She's a character in the story. And she says, well, I want to know about this little girl. And then everybody in my cohort started saying, oh, yeah, Sharon, you keep teasing us with this little girl. You keep seeing her. And why don't you rewrite the same story now from her point of view? You know, on Instagram now, everything is POV, point of view. Yeah, I had to rewrite this wonderful Melanie piece that I knew was good. She's like, Sharon, redo it. And everybody's like, yeah, we want to see it from Sheribaby's point of view. I'm like, oh, snap. Well, all I need is a challenge. Anybody who knows me know. Just challenge me once, So I took the challenge, and the rest, as they say, is history. I swear I had no idea this is what was going to come. And when it came, the message that came was because of the way the story was coming to me. I couldn't write the story with an adult because there'd be a lot of judgment calls, there'd be a lot of prejudicial thoughts, and people would say, well, it's because they're so and so and so, because your character has to be as real life as possible, right?
Yes.
So I felt that if I was gonna comment, the story that I was writing had to come through a child's eyes, right? You get it, Kathy? It had to be through the innocence of a little girl. And I wanted a little girl because as I looked through the pantheon of Caribbean literature, I saw no young female protagonists.
That's true.
We don't, I challenge anyone to find one for me. Mm-hmm. And if you do find a young girl, she is not an empowered young girl. Yeah. She's not a young girl with a voice. She's a young girl that's been told what to do. Thank you. And so I felt that Miss Lou and all the ancestors, Zora Neale Hurston and all of them were speaking through me to empower this little girl. And I realized, well, I was really empowering myself. That little girl really was me, that I've always wanted to tell these stories and felt that nobody was going to want to listen to these stories or hear about, Jamaica and what have you. And the challenge, well, why don't you try it? Why don't you just do it? Why don't you just allow spirit to flow through you and let the story move you and see what she does? And Sheribaby came alive, and I have not, she is just, if you have read her, you see who she is. That's that alter ego that came alive. And so that's how Sheribaby actually came to be, and I wanted her to be as nonpartisan as you possibly could. If you notice in the story, I don't leave. You never forget that she is a child.
That's right.
You never. That's why the paragraphs are varied. The chapters are varied. Some chapters are one page.
Yes.
Some chapters are a little
just
longer
like how a young
Bianca, right? She's not. Her story is right. A child is telling you a story. They're not adult that it's going to be 10 pages, per chapter. No, she's a child, and so she's going to talk to you in the way children speak to you. She gets excited about something, she's going to go on and on about it.
Yeah.
And then sometimes she just want to mention something and she mentions it. And I wanted to catch that in terms of the cadence, because I was writing in patois, and so patois has a rhythm. And so I had to catch that rhythm, but again, using that little girl's rhythm in the telling of it. It couldn't be an adult rhythm,
Okay.
right? Because the adult rhythm would be a different rhythm than the rhythm of a child. So I had to find a rhythm first, and then it started to take shape and form with me. And that's how I was able to go back and work the chapters and the paragraphs the way I did.
Well, I want you to share. Well, I should let everyone know I told Sharon what to read. Because
Boss me around.
yes, because when I read the first chapter of the book, I was like, well, first, wow. And the way it ended made me want to find out more. And it is just, well, it's everything. Well, I think it's everything. Sharon, please share chapter 1. And this is probably one of the longer chapters.
Yeah, because she's
Yeah.
setting it up.
Yeah, because she's setting up what's to come. And it's called Birthmark. I'm going to step away.
You're leaving here.
I'm
with
leaving you
birthmark?
alone, yes. Go right ahead.
Don't be sorry.
Yes.
Oh, another thing about Sheribaby, we should tell them, Mitzi, there are no numbers to the chapters of Sheribaby. She's not counting. She's telling you a story. She's telling you the name of a chapter, but there's no number to her chapters. You get that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Makes sense, right?
Yes.
As a little girl. Birthmark. Oh, you don't believe me? Well, look! With her blouse unbuttoned, my mother all but exposed herself to the strange women sitting in our living room. Mummy stood near the new stereo system. She stylishly pulled on her white cotton blouse with the red piping and pointed. You see it? Lord of mercy! Jesus! A dopey mark, that's it true! The dopey mark in question appeared as a purplish discoloration against Mummy's skin that was similar to a yellow hard breadfruit. 2 of the 3 women kept uttering, Jesus, sweet Jesus. Stop your foolishness. The tall one who swayed from side to side with eyes closed, mumbled. You know, see, Miss Rose need a 19 immediately to protect her. For that mark is not of this world. Ah, but Shanti Kalasanto. Oh Lord Jesus, in the sweet name of Jesus, pass by here, Lord. The visitor swayed and spoke as if in a trance. Mommy sighed. So you say, why me not show nobody? Yes, Miss Rose, if me never see it for myself, me would never believe that you really get a mark like that for life. Well, now you know. You need to figure this out and do it fast. Do it fast too, cause my husband soon come. We cannot rush the Lord's work, Miss Rose, said the woman with the multicolored head wrap, still dancing to a tune I couldn't hear. She must be the leader. Will this help you? Mummy handed a brown envelope to the one in the multicolored head wrap, who stopped singing and spinning to count the bills. It's 7 years me trying to make sense of this thing. Since the baby kicked me and bruised me, it never go away. See her there? See me picnic there? She on a dopey. She on a spirit. She right here in the land of the living. And me know, say how she kicked me from inside my womb. From the veranda, I peeked at my mother through the jalousie windows. So prim and proper with her high-colored self, and that distinct, high-pitched voice of hers. Although she washed and pressed her shoulder-length dark brown hair weekly, Mommy pulled it back in a bun most days, like her mother, Di, who was a maroon from Portland. Mommy only wore high heels and high-end fashion, which she designed and sold herself at Tommy's House of Fashion, her factory. She had secured a lucrative contract to manufacture high-end clothing for the Syrian-owned department stores throughout the island as a result of her husband, Mr. Thomas' political affiliation. Mommy adored herself with gold bangles. You could hear her from a mile away, and you could see her too, because she painted on studio girl makeup daily to highlight her cheekbones, flat forehead, and Chinese eyelids. Her lips were bronze-colored most times, or red when she went to parties. Sheribaby, come here. Mommy's tiny frame signaled for me to come into the living room. I hesitated at the double front doors with one foot on the threshold. Nightfall scared me with all this duppy talk, but Mommy's show already started. I didn't feel like being pinched and poked and examined for duppy marks, but I had no choice in the matter. I fiddled with my hair in between my fingers and took a deep breath. Here we go. My mother was such a character. She liked to tell stories that made her audience laugh and cry all at the same time. Long tales, scary ones, funny ones, but never short ones. The reason for the ladies' visit tonight is for her to tell them the story of the mystery surrounding the discoloration near her right rib. From experience, I knew this story could be a long, funny, scary one, because I've heard it all my life. My heart skipped a beat when I heard a car backfire. I prayed it wasn't Mr. Thomas, my stepfather, who forbade my mother from having these women in his yard. Women who wore bright-colored robes, pencils jutting from their head wraps, and Bibles tucked under their arms. He would crack his knuckles and rub his hands together, then stroke his beard and say, "If you're so haunted, go on a them yard, no? But now bring them here. I mean, I want to hold their business in ya." The tension in the living room escaped through the billowing curtains. I prayed this episode would be over before Mr. Thomas returned with Bunji and Desi, my younger brother and sister. I prayed Mommy's telling of the dramatic tale of my birth on that terrible rain-soaked Saturday morning at the end of October 1962, 2 months after independence, would be brief. At almost 7, I could tell when Mommy told that particular story to gain admiration for her bravery in not setting foot out in that rain to go down at the hospital, or to show Grandma Dai's magical maroon powers in her dreaming Mommy the night before my birth and showing up in the rain hours after my birth. The biggest mystery, the one that's haunted Mommy all these years, is the bruising under her ribcage, supposedly caused by a kick I delivered. She thought I'd wait 5 more days until November to show myself, but no, I had to have my own way and kicked her with the force of a donkey's back foot when it vexed. The damn little picnic kicked me so hard that me drop off of the bed and roll upon the floor. Me swear to the two of dead, cause she stopped moving. By the time I ball out, it's Edna that run come. Thank God she's a light sleeper. Thank God she's a light sleeper. By this time, it's soaking wet, and it's not from the rainwater that leak through the roof. Me say me catch me afraid, cause the pain a brutalize me, and me know me can't make it to the hospital in the rain. So Edna decide to go wake up the old midwife. Edna ball out for Del come help, but Del sleep like she did. Mommy paused there for the usual dramatic effect. The rapt-head women were captivated. Mommy sipped some more sorrel, licked her lips, and looked at the women. She cleared her throat and continued. Anyway, when Del wake, she finally peep and see how desperate. She just get to work, boiling water, a whole heap, and gathering towels and things. The kicking, Lord, the kicking. Me just make up my mind and push, and Sheribaby slide right out in a Del hand. But the whole midwife step in the room same time and frightened Del, and she nearly dropped Sherry a ground. The whole woman catch my baby quick, then
would clean me up and cut the umbilical cord while the rain just a fall. Me did mark her too, you know. Cause me did a crave liver morning, noon and night. Me just couldn't eat enough liver. So when she born, and me examined the poor little picnic, me nearly dead when me see the little brown liver mark on the inside of her right arm. Can you imagine that? And you see that head of hair shaft? Mommy pointed at me, and the 6 eyeballs followed. The 6 eyeballs followed. And that didn't give me one heap of heartburn. Mr. Sherry had more hair than body. Laughter and talk about my head of hair being pretty made Mommy smile every time. And she'd puff up her chest and declare, "It's my best and my worst birth. The whole thing lasts about 4 hours. Believe me." From I push out Sherry, round 9:15, the damn little pig didn't shut her mouth. You hear me? I know Sherry mouth set past spring. That's why I call her village lawyer, you know. Cause she born for chat and fast in a people business. Kick and fight and go on like she bad. That's why I don't take my eye off her. Cause me, no one, our father, asked me nothing about the prize. Wait, you never know. Yes, she born 3 days after him. Folks would comment that I'm womanish and how tiny I was and how much hair and so much mouth. There would be loud laughter at this comment, but tonight, these eyes felt like they could bore holes through my skin. I swallowed hard, wanting to disappear next to the green sofa. At this point in the story, the mms and ahs and side glances towards Mommy or towards me would happen like clockwork. Mommy would then cry. Tonight, she didn't cry. Instead, she called me towards her. My stomach fluttered as I stood up and stepped forward with my hair between my fingers again. Look pa me picnic good. You see any spirit pan her? Eh? I didn't move. Hurry up and tell me something, cause Thomas soon come, said Mommy as she pulled on me to come closer. I wiped my clammy hands on my shorts. My braid was undone. I felt nauseous. Cold sweat washed over me. I saw when the woman with the multicolored head wrap spun around a few times and made some guttural sounds like when Bruno and Rex, or bad dogs, got sand in their throats. She looked at Mommy. I pretended not to see when Mommy looked at her, then at me. It's not Sheribaby you must worry about, Miss Rose. It's your husband. Mr. Thomas is your worries. The woman with the multicolored head wrap whispered. Thank you.
I think I left my...
Can I share something with you all? I'm about to embarrass my two aunties right now.
Can I?
Mitzi, can I say something till you come up?
Sure. Okay, here it is. Go right.
Paula,
Go right ahead.
come in. Come.
Are you going to put people on the spot?
Yeah, I was gonna blow them up. I don't know if it's time for me to blow them up yet, should I? Because I just spoke about them. So there are a lot of, the book is inspired, as I said, by my life, but it's a work of fiction. It is not an autobiography, and it's not my memoir. But I paid homage to a lot of people in this book because I kept the names of a lot of people I knew because I wanted to show them how much I love them and what they meant to me. And even though the characters are named after them, it doesn't mean that's who they are. It's just that they influenced me so much. And two of them are here tonight. And they're my aunts. And when you hear me talk about Miss Della and Miss Edna in the book, they're actually real people who are here. Miss Della, Miss Edna, who actually in real life gave birth to me
Hands up.
when I was born. So that's a story. They're right here. That's Miss Della and that's Miss Edna. So that's one. So you all got a little treat tonight because that was loosely based on something that really, really went something like that.
Yeah,
I can't tell you how much of it is true because
okay.
I'm a storyteller. I can't. But they're here. They influenced that part of the book, and they're here with me. Yes.
Okay,
Clap
thank
them up.
Yes. Now I'll tell you why I liked that first chapter because, well, first of all, who knows what a duppy is? Okay.
Okay, some hands
Somebody
up
who
front
knows
too.
what a duppy is, could you explain it for those who don't?
Okay.
It's
A
a what?
ghost.
A ghost. That's a good way.
Okay,
Yes.
good,
That's a
good,
duppy is a ghost.
good.
Right. And who were those? Before we start our conversation, who were those two women in the story? Anybody figure that out? The two women in the room. Who were they?
There's three of them.
Right.
What kind of women?
Obio women. Yes. One of the things that I found hilarious is when they couldn't figure out what it was, and she handed them the envelope and said, "Would this help?" And she just took it and started counting the money and tucked it away.
Money is always gonna do it.
That's gonna always
It's gonna
solve the
always
problem.
do it. Go to church, they tell you, just throw your tithe, give some money, everything.
Yes, yeah. But the thing is, this chapter foreshadows what's to come. The Ubia women basically said to her, "It's not the birthmark that you have to worry about. It's Mr. Thomas." You know, it's Mr. Thomas. I say it and I get chills because I've read the book and I know
Well,
what that
it's
means.
high literature, see, and so, you start where we're gonna end. Did we not learn that in literature class? We did, right?
Yes.
You come
yes.
full circle, right, Paul? Is that what you do?
So
this is high literature writing here.
Okay. So this book, the story through the eyes of a child, deals with a number of issues. I won't get into all of them because I don't want to give away the story.
Right.
But you know, she was a barrel child.
Yes. Yes.
And
That's a big theme.
A lot of us were barrel children. I was a barrel child. Who knows what that means? Barrel children. Right. Your parents have left, have gone to foreign, and you're still on the island, and they send barrels back home with food, clothes to keep you, and that was how they showed love. That was how they showed that they wouldn't say "I love you," but if you got a barrel at Christmas, a barrel at Easter,
on the holidays,
and
before school,
there
were, those were the times that you would get them.
Right.
There's still barrel children today.
There's still barrel children today. See that?
There's still barrel children.
Okay.
Around the globe today. Still in the West Indies. They're barrel children, and it is. I was a barrel
child as well.
in a way, and so it is amazing that it is the transparency, Sharon, how you said in this book. It's phenomenal. It's true.
It is true, and part of the thing about Sheribaby that I say to people, Mitzi, as you're talking, is, this is not a little book that's tied up in a bow, right? Isn't that, that's part of the whole thing. It looks like a sweet little thing, right? Pretty little cover, nice little story, little girls, gotta be nice. It ain't. It's anything but. And so, even in talking about, and it comes back to why I had to use a child, because I'm being as authentic as I have to keep that voice, because I should let people know that the book takes place in a specific time and space.
Yes, yeah, that's
so
important.
1969 to 1975.
Yes.
That's a specific timeline that I'm placing you in. And so Sherry at that time, Jamaica has just gotten their independence from Britain in 1962, which is the year Sherry was born. And so the nation is coming alive. It is discovering itself. It's coming of age. What is independence? What does it mean? What is this to us as a nation, right? So we're looking at themes of identity, and identity across, so many spectrums. And Sherry is kind of calling them out on certain things without calling them out. She's just talking about it.
She's just talking about it, but she's really repeating what she's
She
heard.
is repeating what she's heard,
She
what
is
she
the
sees,
village-
what she is the village lawyer.
She is the village lawyer.
She is.
She is. And I want anybody heard anything that you didn't quite get? This is your opportunity to ask that question.
And it's the reason there's a glossary in the
There's
back
a
of the book.
glossary in the back of the book so that you
Okay.
can get some of the terminology. And if you're Canadian, impress your friends.
Impress your friends.
Learn some of these words and phrases, but not all of them are good.
And listen to the audio so you know how to do the curse words.
No.
The curse words are there, right?
in abundance.
I swear, you know,
Yes.
I tell you something with the curse words, right? You have to imagine Jamaica at that time. It's a hotbed, right? And all that's happening. And so, how could I write this character, this little girl, this feisty, spunky little girl, who is the village lawyer? How else is she gonna speak? She's gonna mimic the adults around her.
Yes.
She's not gonna be speaking no proper English. Where? When? Not happening, right? So she is cursing the way she hears
has
the
a
curse.
mouth of a sailor.
She has a mouth, and she is repeating, and she's telling you that's what she's doing.
Yeah.
And she tells you that she's become very familiar with all the curses, not some, she says, but all of them, and she practices them.
Yes.
Because for her, this is lovely. She can tell stories because the adults want her to speak this way.
I want to ask a question about Canada.
Yes.
Sheribaby, if she passes her common entrance exam, she was told that she would go to Canada. Why is that? And she wanted to go. She wanted to pass the exam because she wanted to go to Canada. Why Canada?
So again, in telling the story, I'm telling stories within stories. So the Barrel children, a lot of them had opportunities to go away for summer vacations. So that would be something that would happen. They would get to go visit their parents or the auntie or whoever, you know, the rich family member that was living overseas. If you're doing good, you get a trip, you know, you get an opportunity to go away. And so remember in the beginning, and again with Sheribaby, as you're reading it, please understand that every word, every sentence, every chapter is intentional. If you remember in the beginning, you meet Miss Dell and Miss Edna, right? You met them. And they basically were there birthing Sheribaby. Well, they leave and go away because this is what's happening 69 to 75. People are leaving the island, right? They're going to, whether you're from Jamaica, Barbados, Trinidad, there was this movement, right? This migration. And so they leave to go to Canada. And so all she knows about is Canada, and she wants to go to Canada to see Miss Dell
Reader's
because
Digest.
she saw the Reader's Digest. And so she wants to go to Canada. She doesn't know anything about Canada, but she saw the Reader's Digest. She knows Miss Dell and Miss Edna are in Canada with her friends, which is their children, and she wants to go. But isn't that how children are?
Yes.
And then, you want to read that?
Well, no, we won't know because
Okay.
I want you to read the election.
Oh,
The other
right.
thing that she covers from the point of view of a child was the elections in Jamaica and what would transpire at that time. And to hear a child explain something which, you know, as I was working as a journalist and I would hear about the political climate in Jamaica and the separations and with the
PNP and JLP.
the political parties. As I was reading it, I understood what was happening from a journalistic and historical point of view, but to hear how a child sees it based on what she's heard is hilarious at times and true. Hilarious, true, but still thought-provoking. Very, very thought-provoking. You know, so again, as I had mentioned earlier, I told Sharon what to read, and I want her. Elections is very short, but this is well, she doesn't have chapters in the traditional sense of the word. So now listen to elections, and then we're gonna have a discussion.
Election. Talk of the election was on everybody's lips in downtown Kingston. The vendors, the business owners, even the beggars talked about being under heavy manners. In my head, I mimicked the conversations I heard between supporters of the Green Lizards, the rich red-skinned People's Party, and the comrades, the poor black-skinned People Party. Comrades were orange like Mummy and Mr. Thomas and mentioned democratic socialism. I had no idea what it meant or what they meant when they said Manley a communist or accused Siaga, Blinaga, as being a CIA agent. The vendors next to me were in an argument.
One said, I'm glad them call election. The government are too damn teeth. Come now, pretty lady, come buy something from me now, said the other. Stop harass the woman. She don't want none of your tan bad green lizard goods. This vendor, dressed in red, stood up and pointed her finger at the other one. Go away from ya. I want bad goods like you with your communist salt self. A Rastaman looking vendor said, move on a blood clot from here so we're gonna fuck with politics argument, man. Me don't want to hear it. Make me ears eat grass, no man. Vendor in red. Come move with your blood clot, man. At that if you come do. Come move with. You must have blood clot, man. Woo! Tell him for me. If my laugh, my pop up. I enjoyed the laughter and exchange between the vendors. Sheribaby, why you not in schooling? I almost jumped out of my skin when I saw Rascarby, our famous neighbor who lived across the street, standing like a palm tree in front of me, his long dreadlocks stuffed under his multicolored knit hat. He stared at me and I felt shame wash over me. How you look so? What happened to you? Nothing. You hungry? You want a patty? Thanks. He pushed his bicycle as we walked side by side across the park to the tasty patty bakery. He sat beside me as I ate and told me in a fatherly way how important school is. He told me I had a good brain for a girl and he couldn't believe so much time had passed since mommy them left for the States. A year already to rotted. So how you look so untidy? You must stop playing with the boy them. I kept my head down and flicked the patty crumbs from my dirty skirt. Sherry, you all right? I didn't know what to say, so I just ate the patty and cocoa bread and gulped the box of mellow orange juice. I was so happy when he changed the subject and told me about his latest artwork for the High Commission in London and how he lost all track of time and how the sculpture taller than me. He laughed. I kept my head bowed, too ashamed to face him. I swallowed my secret along with the patty and cocoa bread and knew not to tell him, for he is friend with policeman Dougie, who was the head police at the station on Jackson Road near our house. They would talk, and Reverend Mr. Chappie would chop me up fine. Rascarby lifted me and placed me on the handlebar of his bicycle with my school bag in my lap. He carefully towed me all the way home, past the JOS buses, trucks, cars, handcarts, motorcycles, and other bicycle riders. I was thrilled. People called out to Rascarby, who was famous for his paintings and sculpture and his music. Hail the man, Carby, hail I. Rascarby, my general, yes I am. Rastafari, love my brother. Blessed love, my Lord. As he pulled up at the gate, he slowed down and I leaped from the bicycle and kept running until I stopped by Miss Florence's gate. Rascarby told me to come visit him anytime. He never said a word about my stench. Out of the corner of my eye, I heard them before I saw her. Pretty Petal, come here now. Hey Petal, are you really loving her? Petal Jones swayed her hips in her tight school uniform as she strolled past the rude boys at the clinic wall. They whistled at her and called out her name. She giggled and crossed over to my side of the street as if she wanted me to notice her. I couldn't believe it. No wonder Miss Florence said, Petal Jones, I look man hard for a little girl. I stuck out my tongue and opened the gate as she sashayed past me and caught my eye. Gwe, your frowns like what? Petal Jones spat on the sidewalk like a grown-up. Are you stink like what? Is all I could say to her, for she was right. That's it.
Yes. Sorry. Yes. You paid homage to the Rastafarian.
I do.
Why is that?
It meant a lot to me to do that. As a child growing up in Jamaica in the 60s and early 70s, that's when Rastafari was really taking root. And then the Rastas and their ideology was, there was two things going on. You were told to be afraid of them, that they were black heart men, but in truth, they were really the sages in the community. They were the peacekeepers. They were the wise ones. They were the ones that was teaching you how to eat. Now we talk about being vegan. Well, it was the Rasta man that was vegan long time, being idle, telling us not to use salt or to be moderate with our salt, telling us about meat eating and telling us about planting and nature and telling us, every time I hear about iPhones and iPads, I say, but look, it was the Rasta man that said I and I alone, I right? Einity and I. So we owe the Rastas just so much. And when I see what reggae has become in the world, and I know that in those days, they were overlooked. They were beating their drums and they were chanting and singing. And no one ever thought the dirty Rastas would come to anything. And they've become a movement. And then the reputation became that, they were bad and that's why I'm turning a lot of things on its head in Sheribaby. I had to give respect to them and show that Rastas were, I had to humanize them in a way, the way they existed in our community back then. Because they did. You had the vendor. You have Silver, who's the snow cone vendor, as a Rasta. You have Ras Charlie, who's selling on the side. I don't want to give away too much. As an entrepreneur, We have Ras Karbi, representing so many of the skill sets that Rastafarians, sculptors, artists, musicians, all of it.
I felt, for me, when you described him and all that he did, I thought he was an amalgamation of a number of Rastas, including Bob Marley.
And that's why I purposely did that. You got
that?
Because that's what I'm doing in the book. Like a lot of the characters are amalgamations, really composites of so many. And that's what I'm doing in paying tribute. And even with Ras Karbi's character, if you notice, he takes his time with Sheribaby. The chapter I just read, Sherry has gone through a very difficult period. And she's in what she calls her season of stopping.
Yeah.
And she's just basically wandering around. And she found herself in like the town area, just hanging out in the market, which is what she did, listening. And here is Ras Karbi coming up on her. Instead of scolding her and chastising her, you notice what he tries to do. He
asks,
gives her something to eat. He asks me, why aren't you in school? I wanted to show that and put a positive lens on the Rasta man. And so that's what I was doing with those characters, especially his. Yes.
I'd like to hear from a number of hands went up, or people who read the book. Anything that stood out to you, or have a question about what you read? Yes.
Jacqueline, who I have known since I was 3.5 years old.
Is she in the book?
She is in the book. She is in the book. I named a character after her. Go ahead.
Dear. So what's your question, Jacqueline?
It's not even a question. I think I really wanted to just...
You want the mic?
Yes.
Because we're being recorded here by Hammer Films, and we're also on Instagram Live.
Thank you, Sharon.
Love you, baby.
Thank you, Mitzi. I think when I read the book, so much of it resonated with me. And I'm reading and I'm thinking the Three Musketeers. Exactly who she was talking about. But what I want to speak to tonight is the resilience of this woman.
Yeah.
We knew she was going through something. When we talk about how your hair messy or your uniform messy, we saw that as kids, but we didn't know what was going on. Nobody knew when Miss Rose bring her back to school. When Miss Rose bring her back to St. Joseph and get her back in school. So Sharon hadn't come to school for months.
It's a work of fiction, y'all. Remember that? It's based loosely on my life. It's a work of fiction.
I think she just outed you completely.
Swear to God, don't bring your friends to your book club.
But I think the piece that I said that is so impactful for me was really everything that she's gone through and where she is today. and the fact that we've been able to maintain this friendship.
Yes.
We're talking about 18-year-old New York, went to our 18th birthday party. Sharon talked about birthdays in Jamaica.
Yes.
We all had October birthdays.
Yes.
We're days apart from each other the same year.
Yeah.
Every year it rained.
Every year. Every year.
Every year
That's
it
why we
rains
wrote about
and nobody comes to our party because it rained.
Rain.
Nobody
That's in the
knows
book.
that
It's
rained
in the
Jamaica.
book.
That is in
Loosely
the book.
based on my life work of fiction.
Anyway, Sharon, baby,
I love you.
love you. And I know Miss Rose is looking down on you, sweetheart.
She is. She really is.
She is.
She is. She is.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. I love you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, interestingly enough, she's saying it resonated with her. It resonated with me.
Cynthia
Because-
said it resonated
yeah.
with her when she walked
Yes,
in.
yeah.
Well, let me let you finish saying
Yes.
what you said, and Cynthia, I want you to tell them what you said
Yes.
when you walked in. Jackie, thank you.
I
Go ahead.
recognized some of the things that Sheribaby got up to, things that I have done, and I
Like
was.
what, Mitzi?
No, and
We need
I was one of the-
examples here.
I was our village lawyer.
I know.
Because I spent all the time sitting around my mom's friends, taking it all in while
That's
my
what we did.
sister was out.
Yeah.
You know, and the phrase was, "You're always in big
People business. Yes.
right?
Yes. Yes.
And you know, and I was too womanish.
Womanish. You're too
I was
womanish.
too womanish.
Why you so womanish? Yeah.
So I listen when I'm commuting. I'm listening to the audio book, and I'm sure people are wondering what's wrong with her face because I'm making all these different faces and I'm laughing and I'm and I really it resonates. And so I don't think you have to be one Jamaican or
No.
from the culture to understand. So let's hear
From
your
Cynthia, who is not from the culture and is not Jamaican, who totally understand.
Okay.
Cynthia, why don't you share, since we're talking about
Yeah.
this, and what Jackie
Yeah.
said about Miss Rose.
Yeah.
Thank you, Cynthia.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Come on camera so we can get you on camera. You know, it's a high class production. we have going on, yeah.
I said when I came home, and again,
Come in the
being a
camera.
mom,
Yes.
that was really hard for me to read and get into
Don't cry. Don't let me
exactly, sorry, I do it.
Don't do it.
But to get into everything that Sheribaby was dealing with when her parents were gone. And when her parents came back,
Yeah.
I was so happy and they came back unannounced, and I'm like, yes!
Yes, 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 yes.
I was just so happy. So I just wanted to share
Thank
that,
you,
and I
baby.
didn't expect to cry.
Oh, but it's what
it was
you know.
beautiful.
Thank you, Cynthia, for the crying.
Yeah.
It's what she does. She makes us cry.
It's what she does. She makes us cry. Thank you, Cynthia. Nadine, who is also a dear longtime friend of mine, Nadine Wallace. Why don't you come over, my Jackie? You can squeeze over there. Squeeze fast. It's all right. Friends forever. And she used to dance as well. But remember, it's a work of fiction. Please remember that.
But we write what we know.
We write what we know. We can only write from what we know. Go ahead. Coach Cash.
Yes,
Come on,
go
Coach
ahead,
Cash.
yes.
Coach Cash.
Here.
When is the stage play coming?
Oh, take so they can hear you. They can't hear you.
Yes.
When is the stage play coming?
And I
The
say when is
stage, the play, the
TV
movie,
series.
the TV series, it's all coming. It's actually here, but you're just not seeing it yet. But it's here. You know where I'm at, guys. They know. They know. My Amplify You and Amplify Elite family is here, and I just want to thank you all for being here. And they know. So part of this, it's here. It's here. It will be here. Pretty soon you'll be hearing all about it because that's the energy that's out there. Many of you know that I do make independent films and I also have Hammer Films with me. And when you have the kind of partners and friendships that I have, I'm lucky enough to have, blessed enough to have. These next steps are they just happen. I have folks who are literally just waiting for me to give them the word. I am the one saying to them, I'm touring Sherry. I want her to have her feet solidly on the ground. The audiobook just came out. Oh, wait. Did you all know that in 3 months, Sherry made it to the Amazon best-selling list? You all did that. Elaine, your postings, my darling. Camille,
all of you, Jax, you, Mitzi, all of you, the sharing and this is what it's all about, community. But it is coming. I tell you, I have a one-woman show that we're working on. We have, it's just to do the screenplay. It's done. It really is, right? Howard is standing there going, done. Mitzi's like, serious, ready? Get Millie Black
Yes.
coming via Sheribaby. It's happening, and you would say you heard it here, but it is.
We need part 2 first.
It is, that's what I'm saying, Jackie. There's just, I don't know if they'll allow me, Jackie. They're like beating me up for the screenplay and the movie and the play and some part 2, and it's all coming. It's all coming.
I think we mentioned earlier we didn't like the way it ended.
We appreciate that. We appreciate that. For those who haven't read the book, that was a spoiler alert. They're very angry. Very angry they are.
But
What was that? That's a kind of, how could you do that to us, Sharon? Unfair. I had a girlfriend who said to me, this is so unfair. I stayed up all night. Oh, your daughter is saying you said the same thing. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yes. No, for me, even it's not a chocolate box ending.
It's not. It is not.
And
because the life is not a chocolate box.
And also too, I believe there is more to come for Sherry.
Oh, so much.
And that's the interesting part about watching the progression of this little girl.
Yes.
And when it ended, I felt I started to think about her next steps in life.
Oh yeah.
Her next steps in life. And I mean, I had the opportunity
stuff.
to
Right.
So I think it was good that it ended that way.
Oh,
Leaves
yeah.
them wanting more, and you want to know, well, what on earth happened to this little girl? There's a funny scene in the book when they're at the immigration
at the end, yeah.
when they're going to get their papers to go to the States, and the mom is standing there and she's going to leave, and they all start crying, and everybody in the room is saying, well, I can't say it in the dialect like you, so you say what they
No,
said.
Mama, I want to hear you say it.
I can't, no, everybody's
Practice that Jamaica.
Okay. Oh, look on them a cry because them a go foreign.
She did good. She did good.
But basically
that was so funny.
Yeah,
they see
because
them crying, again, you're judging, right?
Right, you're judging.
See these children crying, you don't know why they're crying. You're thinking they're crying because they're getting ready to go to America. And they're crying because their mom's about to leave them again.
Yeah.
Again. And they just can't even fathom. And what do children really go through, and how do they express
Exactly.
the trauma, right? There's a lot of trauma that children deal with.
And absorb.
And so it is in telling the story that is fictionalized and not a memoir or an autobiography. Please? Okay.
Okay, so I want to open it up again. Any questions for Sharon about what you've heard this afternoon, or what you have read? Yes, one, yes.
You need a mic?
Yes.
Take a mic, man.
Come.
Say who you are to sign
Yes.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thanks for being here.
Yeah.
I'm Howard Quealy.
Arthur.
I'm from Nevis, so we have similar culture.
Yeah.
We don't read the book yet, but after the presentation this evening, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
And the audiobook is available as well.
Yeah.
Thank
And
you.
I did the audiobook.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
And Howard is also an author himself.
Oh,
yeah. Yes.
Somebody has their hand up in the back. We have
Yes.
two people.
I'll start. Hi, it's nice to see you.
Oh.
You can bring the baby and
Hello.
come. We have a mic for you.
Yes.
Hi.
So I'm a little late. I'm Crystal.
Hi, Crystal.
I apologize if this has been asked or.
Oh no,
It's
please
okay.
go ahead.
Go
This is
ahead.
not that kind of vibe, girl. Go with it. Ask it 20
I wanted
times.
to know, how was your process of writing? What, did it bring up anything?
Mm-mm.
How did you go through that process and get to the end?
Good
I'm
question.
So-
in the process of writing too.
Okay.
And I wanna hear how you worked through it.
So writing this book, like I said when I started off, I didn't set out to write Sheribaby. Sheribaby came to me. And I used to hear authors talk about, because I interviewed so many of them as a journalist, would talk about how characters would come to you and really take over. I used to hear about that. I thought it was just, authors trying to be all, the characters come to you. The characters come to you. Let me let you know they do. The process was during COVID, you see, and so it was very lonely. And not only was it lonely, it was very painful. And that's why I had to make it a work of fiction. I could not write it real. Can you catch that part?
Yes.
So it's real fiction, right? I had to borrow from what I experienced, what I saw, what I knew. But because I am the brilliant storyteller that I am, and that's my skill, I was able to take that skill that I was afraid to use, right? Because I thought I had to write a nonfiction work, right? I was able to take that skill. Deal with the raw emotions and everything that was coming up, because when you start to conjure up these characters, they do come. And they come at you hard and fast. So there were days when I was up for 4 or 5 days at a time. And then there were times when I would sleep for a week. I didn't know that I was doing this. I learned that I was doing this by my son, by my friends who were, this one over here. They were checking on me. And there were days when I wouldn't answer the phone, I wasn't speaking to anyone because I was writing, or I was in one of my phases in Italy, and friends like that would send notes to me, or they would check in on me. Because remember, this is COVID, you can remember. So they didn't know what was really going on with me, but they knew I was writing, but they knew that it was deep because of how I was being. But I couldn't tell them how I was being because it was so painful, if that makes sense to you all. And so I was happy in a sense that it was during COVID that I did it, because then I would have been too vulnerable being around people doing this, if you get what I'm saying. So I felt, that's why I knew this was a blessing for me. This was like a gift. It's like it came at the right time for me to be able to deal with all the ghosts and the duppies and the dramas, and to still put them at rest and be able to process it. I lost a lot of weight writing because I wasn't eating. I didn't eat, really. I didn't have an appetite. I wrote the book in exactly 1 year, from March of 2020 to March of 2021. And then I turned it into a chair, as my friend said, and sat on it for 3 years. I sat on it because I was afraid to release this story, because I knew how deep I had gone, and I knew the story I was telling was gonna be probably a little concerning for some folk, all right? Please understand that what I have done with Sheribaby has never really been done before, not really, never been done before. I have written a story about a young girl speaking in Jamaican dialect, cursing, talking about stuff that no little young girl, should be talking about. And Caribbean folks are very proud people. And to have a little girl like this telling a story like this is like, shame on you, Sharon. How could you do this? Yeah. But instead of that, I'm getting a lot of kudos, Sharon. Thanks for doing this. And I think that's the part of it that is really making me feel fulfilled, that after the process being what it was for me, right? I did a lot of healing in writing. And my editor was a godsend to me, because so this book was twice as long as it is now. And she chopped it up for me because she saw that there was a part 2 and a part 3. So she actually sent me, because remember, Mitzi spoke about the trilogy. Mm-hmm. So Sheribaby is gonna be, Melanie, you're not leaving, right? Oh, okay. So, Sonia, you there? Hey.
We have a question in the back.
Yeah. Okay. That's it.
Yeah.
Question.
Yes, right there. Or comment. Go ahead. Yes. Sherry, and your name is Sherry. Yes.
Hey, Sherry.
My last name is Sherry.
Sherry, yeah.
So it's actually another question, but it's I think I talked to you about how I became aware of who you are.
Why don't you get a microphone so everybody can hear you? Come
Yes.
on up. You can't be
Yeah.
shy. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Here we go. So good to see my family. My cousins are all here. Simone, I see you. I see you.
Go ahead.
I see you all. I see my cousins everywhere. My family.
Don't you try that. Yeah,
Thank
turn
you all
around.
for coming out. Janice, thank you so much.
Yeah, go. Yeah, you
Yeah.
comment.
Janice is in the book too.
Okay, go ahead.
So
Did I just blow her up?
Go
Where
ahead.
is
so
she?
I think I spoke about
Go
how
ahead. Hello.
I spoke about how I became aware of Sharon Gordon, and it was very, very interesting because I was aware of Amplify You because I did a 3-day workshop, and from that I kept following the person and receiving a lot of information.
Oh.
And I heard the name came out a few times, and I went and I Googled you, and I was quite wow. But when I saw the book, I kind of refused to buy the book and read the book because just from the image, I sort of knew what the book
Really?
was without knowing what was in the story
You
at
did.
100%.
Interesting. Tell me about that.
And when we came tonight, I still was fearful to purchase the book, but I was so inspired by the name and the
Yeah.
attitude of the girl, because the girl represents a lot of Black West Indian girls.
Right, I'm giving voice to
And
them. Absolutely.
I did not know a single thing. My energy and my spirit felt fear
Why?
because I felt that I was in the book
Yeah.
without knowing the book.
Mm.
So the book spoke to me. I spoke to the book, and I was like, "Stay where you are. I don't want you."
So you didn't want to look at that part of your life, huh?
No. And
Well, she-
until today,
Yeah.
tonight, when you talked about barrow children, when you talked
Yeah.
about, I knew what a guppy was. I knew when you talked about a Rasta man. So I was born in St. Lucia. I was raised in Barbados, and in Barbados, the Rasta men, we would go to the market with my mother every Sunday, and they brought life to me. And it's this exact way you talked about the Rasta man and the people in the community.
I think it's a good book. I think it's a good book.
Yeah.
I think I did good. I think I did good.
Yes.
I did.
So I'm really, really honored. I'm really proud. I'm glad my child is here today, and
Hey, Oliver.
and it's just phenomenal because
Thank you.
I lost my mom last year,
I'm sorry, condolences.
and I remember, receiving some of the things in the book, like you talked about, and I was the village lawyer. I was, mind your business. Like when you said that, I was like, oh my goodness, that's the same thing. You shouldn't be around the adults when they're talking, and you should go here and you should go there. So I love how you told the book from the perspective of a child, and that was brilliant. And so I'm just so grateful. I'm so honored. I'm so happy, and I feel this book needs to not just be here, it needs to be in schools, and it needs to be able to speak at the voices of many, many young children of all, inclusively. And I found it was really inspiring because how, how the book, the front page is like she's in the streets, no one can mess with her, she has a voice. And I was a little of concern because I'm scared maybe the book is talking about some of the horrible traumas as young Black girls that we have gone through. So I'm taking a deep breath about that. So I haven't read the book yet, but I know I have to muster up the courage and really read the book and cry and heal. And I think this book is one of the best gifts this year for me, and it will become one of my favorite books on the shelf. So
Ah.
Well.
Nice, thank you.
Can I give you a
Thank
hug?
you.
Because I think you need a hug. Can I give you a hug, Sherry? And I hope that this book will do for you what it has done for me and for others. It's healed a lot of people, Sherry. There's no need to be afraid.
Yeah.
There's no need to fear who you are.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Sherry is teaching you,
Yeah.
right? There's no need to fear it.
Okay.
It is what it is.
And it is available on sale right now, and you can get it autographed by Sharon while she's here, so that when it becomes a TV series, that you can say, I was there when she said that it was going to become a TV series. Sharon is very big on manifestation, and I'm trying to get to that space where she just, whatever she says happens.
You
She
know,
lives with intention.
thank you for that.
So
I
thank
do.
you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, I want to give everybody a chance to mingle, and if you haven't had a drink, have a drink.
I
Get
have
your
a
book
surprise
signed.
for you as we're going to do that, Mitzi.
What?
So, my Sheribaby fan club is in the building.
Okay.
My cousin Elaine and her best friend Camille are here as Sheribaby.
Oh yes,
They
yes,
totally
yes.
surprised me. Look at this. This is the first time I've been on a book tour. This has not happened, but I had to come to Canada, to Toronto for this to happen. Are you all ready? Here
Yes.
comes the founding members of the Sheribaby fan club.
Come.
Elaine and
Pull out your
Camille.
cameras. Get up.
We need you up here.
Get up.
Come, we need you up
They
here.
need to
They gotta
see.
see you.
They gotta
Come.
see you. Come on,
They're
guys.
so beautifully dressed. Danny, get them up here. Mitzi, get them up here. You can't be so dressed like Sherry and that as the fan club. Look at them. This is Elaine. Come.
Go on.
Sheribaby fan club. Here they are. This is Elaine. I used to call her Milane because I couldn't say Elaine when I was a little girl. And this is Camille. And they got to do the pose now. Can we see the Sheribaby pose? See there? Just look at the book. There it is. See, they got it? Y'all got that? Y'all got it. Clap them up. The founder and co-founder of the Sheribaby fan club.
That's just genius. Yes. Well, yes. Well, I want everyone to get a chance to talk to you one-on-one and to mingle and to sign books that they have.
Roma's food.
And Roma has food.
Oh, wait,
there.
somebody has something to say. Hold on, wait. Hold the presses. Hold on, Nadine, remember it's a work of fiction, Nadine, a work of fiction.
Okay, so we go back.
Hold it up to you so they can.
We go back
1
to grade
second.
1,
Lord,
all
Nadine.
the way through to high school. I have not read Sheribaby, but I can just imagine the contents of Sheribaby based on some of the things we did. Some of them,
It's a work of fiction.
she didn't get caught, but because I stood out like a sore thumb, I always got caught.
The hair used to be red.
I fiery
A white
red.
lady. The white lady.
I played Rudolph the Red-Nosed from grade 1 to grade 5.
All the way through.
With my hair in two like that, and wires holding my ponytail.
Uh-oh.
So yes, I got punished for looking the way I look.
Yeah.
However, I took it in stride. So whenever we got in trouble, the first name they always called was mine. So I paved the way for everybody else. I don't know if you all know about we went to an all-girls Catholic school.
Mm-hmm.
We wore uniforms.
She has a red Sheribaby. You can tell, right?
We
Because it's in there.
We were not allowed to go to soccer games where the boys were. We changed our nice glowing white belts, put on another school belt, but youngsters we were, forgot that we had on brown shoes and brown socks.
Which was our school.
Which was our school, and their school was black shoes and black and navy blue or black socks. So On the Monday morning, we go to assembly, and we started off Nadine Wallace. And then you just saw everybody else
All the
lining up
names.
behind you. So we always got caught, but you know, growing up the way we did, it was a blessing. We danced together for all those years, all those shows. We had fun. As I said, I have not read Sheribaby to know about the intricacies of what happened there, but growing up, I had a good one, and I'm hoping she can get some of the positives
Yeah.
of us growing up.
Yeah.
It's in there.
How we grew up.
It's absolutely in there.
Because there was a lot of positives and there was a lot of friendship.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's what's in there.
We
Read
went
it.
to each other's, was it the 60th birthday party?
Uh-huh.
And we thought we were still in high school. We behaved like we were still in high school. So I'd just like to say to Sharon, congratulations on
baby.
your success.
Thank you.
It's long overdue.
Thank you.
We saw this in you in the making. I was the most troublesome terrorist that you have provided, and you have run with the torch now.
Oh, God.
So, again, congratulations.
Thank you, Nadine. Let me say
Wow.
something, right? So I'm going to just put some pressure, right? So you see the Three Musketeers. Thank you, Nadine. And we're going to wrap. But since you said it. So remember we were saying before that a lot of the characters are composites, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
so y'all know who Nadine is, right? Who here recognize who Nadine is? That's read the book. She hasn't read it yet. Paula is shaking her head. I named her one name, but that character was built.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. That's Nadine, right? She inspired that character. The demerit, remember I said, the demerit. Nadine, you will see yourself in Sheribaby, but it's a work of fiction. It's not real at all. I don't know those people. You will see them. You have to. What it is what I did, right, family? And that's what I did with this book. And in order to break the rules, you have to know the rules. And I am a student of literature. I am a writer. And I am a storyteller. So what I did in creating the characters, which is, I think, the first time that it's been done in this way, is I was inspired by so many people in the creating of these characters, and so I had to like collapse them, Cynthia, into each other. Like I had to literally create these composites of so I took the traits, you know, that was, it's a story, right? So I had to put the traits that would keep the reader and keep you hooked.
What I heard, it seems like she did read the book, and it does include
She
all the
didn't.
fun
She didn't.
and the dance, and
She didn't.
the dancing, the girls, and how proud you guys were to be a part of that dance troupe, and all the things that, you know, young girls get up to. She mentioned it, and it's in there. And there's a lot of love, a lot of light. There's some sadness, but it really has a really good take on what it's like to grow up as a little girl in the Caribbean.
Yes.
And you would think, oh, this is me, this is mine, but it's really a universal tale. And I'm very proud that you got this done.
I am proud too.
Now
Thank
it's time to go
Thank you
meet
all.
your people, talk to
I'll be
people.
signing books over there. I think I'm over here. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Oh, yeah.